Did you stand the motion on that? Why did you second the motion?
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Absolutely, I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from Kingsville, Texas, and I've lived in Austin for 12 years. And my father was a justice of the peace for 20 years.
You haven't lived here long enough, son.
So my property taxes doesn't matter. I don't live here long enough.
You own your property?
Yes, I do.
Do you vote?
Yes, I do.
Why are you asking him questions?
I'm asking you why you second the motion.
Because I'm a U.S. citizen, man.
Why?
So because
Why?
you're a U.S. citizen.
You're
Do you believe in
rubber
this, sir? Do you believe in this? The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution?
I believe in the system.
Do you believe in the Fourth Amendment of the
You
Constitution?
believe in your fascist bureaucracy. You're scum.
Ask him what he is.
You're filth.
What is the
You're not a
Fourth
citizen.
Amendment?
You're filth.
What is it? He doesn't know.
In what's left of my 3 minutes. So I'm going to just take the opportunity to talk about this process. In my humble opinion, this process is not balanced, it's broken. And 3 minutes for privacy advocates. I don't think that you can make a balanced recommendation, commissioners, based on that kind of process. Is that if we're not being effective, maybe the commission's not being effective. Unless the goal, the intended effect, is to keep all of us on this side of the room and rubber stamp what's handed down evidently from a government contractor to DHS, down to APD, and down to we the people.
Yep.
If enacted in its current form, the ERIC privacy policy offers no protections for people who are not suspected of a crime. Banking records, shopping habits, personal health records are all fair game, and ERIC only has to say public safety. Imagine, under this policy, suspected criminals get more protection than the general public.
And I think I'm here, frankly, to articulate a similar concern to Mr. Young. You're being asked to provide recommendations to City Council on a privacy policy that's A, not approved by DHS, who clearly will approve it, B, without having an opportunity to read it, because I assume that you haven't had an opportunity to fully ingest this document, and third, without the ACLU and other community groups having meaningful input, or at least not having a lot of our concerns make their way into the actual policy. I think this is not the time to go forward with recommendations to City Council unless that recommendation is we need further time to gain expertise about what this is about. The people of Austin are going to be unhappy if we create anything less than a model fusion center. And I'll tell you right now, this is not a model policy. See if you have any questions.
See the outrage. We turn out 15 to 20 people every meeting. We all don't want this to move forward without the proper protections. Public information is just totally wide open. It's not governed by anything. It's public information. The intelligence is governed by 28 CFR Part 23. Right. But information, according to the public safety mandate, is completely open season. You could grab anything you want according to the current privacy policy.
No.
We've had several attorneys look it over. Public information, there's a difference.
We'll sit down.
And you can hire.
They already voted to recommend it.
thing I want to say, sir, is that I personally feel that it's a justification to put something in, say it's a living document, we can change it later. I mean, to me, it just seems like it's a substitute. It's not professional, and it's putting the bureaucracy in front of the.
So many people that are on all sides of the issue and trying to move forward.
Where are they? We're the only ones here, sir.
The
this
people
is how
are
the
on
people
one side,
feel.
and then the federal government, DHS,
I will
IIR.
keep talking, working with you on it. I tell you, I guarantee you that. But what the thing is that
Start
these.
listening and implementing what we're talking about.
You know what?
The Public Safety Commission is absolutely absurd. Every single one of them. City Council has failed.
Well, no, there's one. Who's the Asian guy?
Couple of them.
Yeah. 1/3 of the people that had something to say today. We all came out of our own busy schedules to be heard. And if you're not even listening to us, you can't possibly be representing us. And then that ramrodding of that thing through was just shameful. And what this man did right here was just totally shameful and not in line with people.
Move ahead and put this forward to council. What that means to you, even though there were issues being brought up.
Well, I think the process with the Public Safety Commission is fundamentally broken. First time in months that Matt Simpson from ACLU's even gotten any time on a microphone. But they've given Christy Orr several slots. So that's the core problem is that they haven't even vetted these issues, and yet they're handing it off But now we'll go up and take it up with council. And then if council does the wrong thing, then probably someday we're going to have to see them in court. Because if law enforcement starts aggregating information that's personal and private without a warrant, that's going to be actionable.
No, but when you come up to me and tell me that I'm ineffective, last time you told me I was ineffective.
But we have language in the privacy policy that sounds like this. The ERIC shall investigate in a timely manner alleged errors and deficiencies in data and records, or refers them to the originating agency and corrects. We don't have verb agreement for some of these sentences. And we're forwarding this upstream to council, and I'm not saying that it's your responsibility to do that, but I think the commission has some responsibility to vet these documents in a substantive way. I mean, if this was just a contract, and that I wouldn't sign this. I mean, even if it was with a friend, I'd be like, hey man, you got to straighten that language out. There's no consistency of language, and you as an attorney, you got to realize it. I mean, those are all gaps in those documents that can be, exploited for all kinds of malicious purposes. So
about the living document.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's first of all, it's illegal because the document itself does not say that it's a living document. It just says that it is.
It has to be.
Okay.
The thing is that the way it has always worked for me is that everything is a living target. Problem. Don't ignore it. That's
what we did. We tried to do that.
Yeah, but only about 1/3 of us got to speak. And how can you say that you represent the people when the people that show up and want to speak don't even get to speak?
Do you not feel it prudent that before partner agencies sign on to an interlocal agreement binding them to a privacy policy, that we at least have the privacy policy finalized?
It is going in that direction, and I assume that it will happen in an appropriate way. What we have seen so far indicates beg your pardon?
And what we've seen so far is not appropriate.
It's a matter of interpretation. Okay, it's a matter of reasonable people disagreeing. You think one way and other people. It doesn't mean they're evil people or that they should be. Shouted down if they, as if, they were the devil incarnate. That's not right.
The people need an outlet, and they're not getting the outlet through the Public Safety Commission, which was supposed to be its intended purpose, to allow for the Austin City Council, Austin Police Department to interface through the Public Safety Commission. And while you may be listening or at least hearing us, we don't see anything coming out on the other end in effect of an actual shift in policy.
Today,
is that like penicillin?
Your bureaucracy trumped our privacy. And your bureaucracy is controlled by corporate interests that don't give a damn about our privacy.
What corporate interest?
There's a lot of private contracts.
You said my corporate interest. What are you talking about?
No. Your bureaucracy.
You said my corporate interest just now.
And if the purpose of the commission is to vet things before we recommend to the council, yet not everything is fully vetted, however you still, I call it rubber stamping, just like you did with the blood draw guidelines. Nobody even read them, and you still rubber stamp and pass. I think that's illogical. It's not it's in contradiction.
I was very much aware of the blood draw guidelines.
Well, a lot of the other commissioners weren't.
I was very much aware.
Some of them even abstained because they hadn't even had an opportunity to read them before.
I was very much aware.
Sure. Well, the commission as a whole was not. Community input, it seems. Out of all the people that were in the audience that are members of the community, there was one of them that was saying, yes, let's go ahead and recommend the council move forward. Everybody else, 99% of the other people were up in arms. We're so upset.
If you look at an environmental board, for instance, I mean, there's a lot of environmentalists on the environmental board. There aren't any privacy people.
But in terms of having a whole panel in total unanimous agreement except for one guy on something that everybody in the audience is against.
I can only say that you as an audience are one part of the city of Austin. Don't represent all the city of Austin. So, I have to make my decision relative to you all and other people that I encounter. And that's how I made my decision.
Don't let the fact that we might all be from the same organization make you think that we all agree on a whole bunch of stuff, because we don't.
I think that the city council watches what goes on. They may think as a result, gee, those people really didn't do a good job and think this through.
Did you stand the motion on that one?
Our privacy. And your bureaucracy is controlled by corporate interests that don't give a damn about our privacy.
What corporate interest?
There's
there's a lot of private
Well,
contractors.
you said my corporate interest. What are you talking
No,
about?
no, no, no. Your bureaucracy
You said my corporate interest just now. I
is
just want to
control.
know which
No, not you personally. You don't have. Well, I don't know. I mean, you're asking me.
I'm Jack Sedillion,
You're Jack Nicholson on the stand right now. You're begging for me to ask you if you ordered the code red.
If I what? If I what?